name is Dave. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I'm a vegetarian. Thank you. And I've been vegetarian for a while. And there are certain things that I miss, right? You know, like respect. I didn't realise that you get a lot of animosity for being a vegetarian, right? And especially off blokes. I get a lot of blokes going, "Oh, Dave, you're not veggie, you're gay." To which I like to point out, no, because I don't do sausage, right? I had to go to Spain recently. Now, going to Spain as a vegetarian is a bit like going to Cadbury World as a diabetic, right? I didn't know this. They don't have the cultural equivalent out there. We went to a restaurant. I said to the waiter, "Do you have any veggie options?" Right? He looked at me like I'd shit in the till, right? I said, "I'm really sorry, mate. Do you just have anything without meat?" And he looked at the menu, looked at me, and went, "We've got duck." I said, "Well, duck is still meat, though, isn't it?" Right? He said, "One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard." He looked at me, looked at the menu, and went, "Well, it swims. It's part fish." Kind of logic there, you know? Because there are some vegetarians that eat fish. Anyone know who you call a vegetarian that eats fish? No, a liar. I didn't know this. There's this like weird dietary hierarchy because meat eaters look down on vegetarians, vegetarians look down on vegans, and vegans look down on, well, no one, right? Because they don't have the minerals to grow. And I can say that because I'm trying to be vegan at the moment, and it's like, people tell you the advantages of being vegan. Like, someone said, "Oh, it's so much cheaper," right? What they didn't tell me is, that's because nobody wants to socialise with you, right? The biggest difference between vegetarian and vegan is vegetarians don't eat any animal products, vegans don't use any animal products, which is why vegans never use a sort of zebra crossing, never own a piggy bank, and vegans never listen to any songs by the Beatles, right? And I didn't know this, and the reason that I'm doing it is because my girlfriend's vegan, and my girlfriend's called Una, and she's Irish, so that's spelt OONAXTTJ / the winky emoji, the Batman symbol, and then the transient concept of hope, right? That's how you spell her name. Probably, she's not even good Irish. She's not like, "Oh, fiddle-dee-dee." She's, you know what I mean? She's really like, "You are no!" You know, Jesus Christ. It's what we call the withdrawal method, right? She's from Belfast, right? And I love Belfast, if for no other reason, right? Belfast has the largest Titanic Memorial Museum in the world, right? Which in 2012 had to close down due to flood damage, right? And it's nice, isn't it? I went there the other week. They've got a shop mobility shop on the high street, and it's just simply called AIDS for the Disabled. And you think, Jesus, if they haven't got problems enough, right? Una's a very positive person. I really like that. I like positive people. She uses that phrase you might hear a lot, "Dave, life's all about the journey. Focus on the journey. Forget about the destination. Just focus on the journey." She's actually lost her job as an ambulance driver, right? And she likes using that phrase. I don't know if you've heard that phrase. She said, "Improvement starts with an I." And I don't have the balls to point out that unhappiness starts with you. So, you know, she also uses other people's phrases. I don't know if you've heard that phrase, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Right? And that was obviously famously said by Oscar Pistorius, right? And thank you for going with that. That could have been really fucking awkward. Anyone that didn't like, I don't mean to be offensive. I'm not that kind of person. But at the same time, at least it's creative. You know what I mean? If you're going to insult someone, at least do it in an original way. Some of my best insults have been, "Your family tree's a cactus because everyone on it's a prick." one. You're about as useful as Anne Frank's drum kit. And my personal favourite is You'll Never Be the Man Your Mother Was, right? And if you want really offensive people, kids, right? Now I do kids shows. Now I really enjoy doing kids shows. One of the things that I like about doing the kids shows, I quite like to get the kids kind of like give them their moment of fame. So one of the things that I like to do is to get the kids on stage, tell their little joke. Now I was doing the Edinburgh Fringe, I got this little girl on stage, she was 7 years old, she was called Matilda. I said, okay Matilda, you're going to tell your joke? She was like, yeah. Now she started telling this joke. Now if you know the punchlines for this joke, please shout it out, right? The joke that she started telling was, why does Santa not have any children? Does anyone know the punchline to that? Why does Santa not have any children? Nearly. Well done to you. Dark horse in the fucking corner, innit? Didn't expect a single man on his own. So the answer is he doesn't have any children because he only comes once a year, and that's down the chimney, right? That's the joke. Don't fucking clap that! I've slaved over jokes and then I nick one off a cracker that a 7-year-old tell me gets a fucking round of applause, right? And so there was this girl, she was on stage, she's 7 years old, Matilda, she was there. I said, okay Matilda, you're going to tell your joke? She went, yeah, I'm going to tell my joke. 150 people in the audience, she stood there and she went, why does Santa not have any children? Right? Then a voice from the back of the room, presumably a mum, went, no! Swept her off stage, right? I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was a 7-year-old ask a question and get fucking abducted, right? The kids are crying and someone smashes a glass. I didn't know what to say. So the first thing that came to my mind, which just happened to be, oh, kids, don't worry, because Santa's not real. Didn't really save it. But yeah, it was a weird joke because I did a show in Edinburgh last year all about sexual health, and it's something I'm quite sort of passionate about because I don't think we talk about sexual health very well in the UK. I think in the UK, anything we don't like, we tend to box it up and ship it off, which is how we create Australia, right? And I don't remember sex education at school, and I lost my virginity incredibly late. So as a teenager, I had a lot of questions that weren't answered, and I didn't really know what was going on. And like, I'd seen blue movies and stuff, you know, like Avatar. And Una was my first ever sort of long-term sexual partner. And I don't want to give the wrong impression. I never do kind of casual sex. You know, I'll only ever go to bed wearing a top hat and a monocle, right? But we kind of like, she was my first ever kind of proper partner, so we sort of sexually experimented and we tried loads of different stuff. For example, we tried the Kama Sutra, right? And that's really good. There's loads of different positions in the Kama Sutra. You've got things like the tax man, right? And that's where you get fucked up the ass once a year. It's the tax man. Then you've got the 68 as well, which is, that's where you go down on her and then she owes you one, right? And then you've got my favourite, right? My favourite of all of them is called the spider, right? And that's where you have sex in a bath and she can't get out, right? It's very good. What you have to do is you have to trap her in a glass and then throw her. It's very involved, right? It's very. So we tried all that, and I didn't realise that I got a problem sort of downstairs. And this is honestly, this isn't for laughs. This time last year, I had to have a circumcision. Right, I know it's all, and the reason, I'm not going to be too aggressive, the reason I had to have a circumcision was because the neck on my jumper was a little bit too tight, right, and I hope you do know what I mean. I told one of my flatmates that, and he just went, what's that got to do with your cock, right? I was talking about laundry, right, and so I had to have this circumcision last year. It was very painful, and I did a show about it. and the show was called Circumcision, right? I originally wanted to call the show From the Hood, right? Either that or Dave Chawner, now a little bit less of a prick. And I'm going to end with this, because this is genuinely why I love Brighton so much. I did it at the Edinburgh Fringe, but I tried it out in Brighton. And I was flying, and I was down by the old stand, and I was flying, and I flyered a girl, and I said to her, "Hi, Miss Sweet, just to let you know, doing a show, it's called Circumcision." And she looked at me, and she went, "Is it a live circumcision?" And I had to point out, I'm not going to be circumcised for your enjoyment, for free as well, 5 weekends in a row. But that's how I met Una. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye!